Hi, this is Culture Crack. Hi, I'm Cheech,
Micah,
and we're here to you with another episode of Culture Crack. We are going to be doing a review of the movie Get Out, a movie that just came out recently, I think this past weekend, by Jordan Peele, of Key and Peele. We went and saw it this past Saturday, and it was amazing. We loved it. Well, I can't speak for myself, but
it beat the hype that was growing about it. I really enjoyed it, and I don't like horror movies, so it was good.
But I would say it's not really to me, it's not horror.
It's more of a thriller almost.
Thriller, suspense thriller is a good category. It's not like, well, it is some gore. To warn you guys, but
very small.
And it's contained to like later in the film, so it's not like all blood and guts coming at you as soon as you walk into the movie theater. You know what I mean? And there are some racial undertones, but the thing is, it's done tastefully, and I love how it's not like seems like, oh, it's white against black and it's cut and dry. Straight up like that.
And if some people see it that way, I'm really sorry you do, because there was more to the story. That the more you watch it, the more you see something different. But hey, I
mean, it was an amazing film. Kudos to Jordan Peele. He's stepping out of his comedic sphere that he's usually in, from Mad TV to his acclaimed sketch comedy Key and Peele, which I am a huge fan, and I am so sad that it ended. But he went on to bigger and better things. Both of them, Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele. You know, they made this horror movie that's a wide step from this comedy. And the thing is, the thing that drew it to me was the trailer. It didn't give it too much away, and it didn't give it didn't give you a real grasp on the film, and that's what trailers need nowadays.
And I didn't know what I was getting, because once they said Jordan Peele, I was thinking, oh, it's a comedy, and some of the things were a little bit comedic in the trailer, but then there were other things where I was like, oh, is this like scary movie? Is this like a real horror film? I don't understand.
Because I was confused, like the way the movie was coming off like you didn't know if it was a comedy film, because it's Jordan Peele. You know what I mean? You don't know what to expect. You don't know if it's really a horror movie or it's like something like scary movie, like a parody horror film. And it was a real horror movie. But it was like a tasteful thriller. I would more say a thriller.
And it played upon all the tropes of a horror movie. Like I had thoughts back to the Stepford Wives and that kind of thing, but
that whole like, why are you still there? Get out of there! And I think that plays to the whole like the title. I think he meant it that way. Like, you as a horror movie fan, you're just like, get out of there! Why are you still there? Like, don't you see the signs? Like, get out! Like, and I think that's what he meant by like the theme of the film and the title of the film. It all ties together, and
it sort of felt like it was paying a homage to that kind of feeling that all moviegoers feel.
That suspense, and it was a good film. It was tastefully done. The scenes were cut good. There was comparison. There were like parallel scenes that were cut against each other that were really that really showed you like the allegory and foreshadowing. And it was amazing, and
every single time I thought that there was going to be something that I'd already seen, like another, cliche. Like, it always got turned just a little bit, where I was just like, whoa.
Yeah. At the same time, he is a comedian, so there were a few jokes thrown in. I think for the audience, for like you at home or you in the movie theater watching it, for you to get a good few chuckles out of it. But at the same time, it was a suspense horror. But the thing is, him as a comedian, I think he was just like, I gotta like put a few laughs in there, and I think it was kind of like a black comedy feel, and I don't know, it was really good, and it was really tastefully done, and the soundtrack for it was amazing. He picked underground hip hop sounds and and
then he started off with Childish Gambino's Redbone. It was beautiful, and it really set the tone for the film. and there was a lot of tribal feeling music in there, especially at the beginning. I don't know if it could be considered specifically tribal, but it had that same
drum beat, that anticipation. It tried to get something like your
heart racing a little bit.
Yeah, adrenaline, anticipation for the film coming up ahead, and I loved it. And for his first directorial debut as his first film, A+. This is an A+ film. We very highly recommend you see it. No matter who you are, I recommend. Well, you at least gotta be 17 at least. And no matter who you are, go see this film. Go see this film. It is amazing. No matter what you've heard about it, just ignore anything you've ever heard about it.
And I was actually really surprised because it took me a couple times watching the trailer to really point out, oh my gosh, the main character in this film, he was in an episode of Black Mirror,
yes,
which is a great show.
Which was one of my favorite episodes. I don't know if y'all ever seen Black Mirror, but it was the episode.
It was nice to see him back because I really enjoyed that episode. It's one of my favorites from the series. If you don't know it, I would check it out.
Yeah.
And he really concealed that British accent well. I was expecting a break because there always is one, no matter whose accent they're portraying. And he did some A+ work.
Speaking of characters, kudos to Allison Williams from Girls. Now, I do not like Girls, but her character was so believing.
Yes.
And so, genuine, you trusted her in the beginning. You trusted her, and the thing is, you could never trust. In a horror film, they tell you to never trust anybody, but I genuinely trusted her, and, you thought she was, there for him the whole time and stuff like that, but,
And I went in thinking, that was one of my, one of the cliches. I was like, oh, definitely evil. But the more I watched, I was, doubting my own self. I was, yeah, she's real. Yeah, she's about it. Yeah, she's with him. She doesn't understand. She doesn't know either. And so it kind of made the reveal even more heartbreaking because it felt more intimate.
Yeah, we're not gonna spoil anything, but to watch it, you'll have a surprise for each of the characters. Each of the characters breaks out in some way and shows you a new side to them. Whether it's Chris, whether it's Rose, whether it's the other ancillary characters, they're all showing you something different, and I love how it brought the whole film together and it gave you a satisfying ending. And that's most of all what you want in a film, was a satisfying ending and leaving the movie theater with a sense of that was so good.
We were so excited about this movie. We did a whole 30-minute review, but we're just gonna give you the highlights. So enjoy. As soon as he noticed that Carl was following him, he was like, not today. And he turned around.
And my dad.
That line. Oh my gosh.
Quote, Rose said, my dad would have voted for Obama 3 times if he don't. I believe a deer in the middle of the road hit their car.
They said it was a doe, but the thing was that it looked like some random dog cat at first.
And it was making the most weirdest sound. It was
is that a human?
It was making the most cringe-worthy mewing sound, and I was so my skin was crawling because I was like, oh my god, somebody shoot it, put it out of this misery. And they stopped to help it or whatever, and they called the police, I think, and that they had a whole scene where the police officer was asking for Chris's ID, but Chris wasn't driving. And Rose was just why do you need his ID? Sticking up for him, you don't need to do all this bullshit, blah, blah, blah. He wasn't driving, I was driving. The officer was just okay, man, whatever. And so he was he didn't try to give him any trouble anymore.
And that was a really good scene, because in my mind, I'm already thinking of all the tropes. And so when she comes to his defense, I'm like, oh, maybe she's the real one.
I'm biased against Rose because the person who played her is Allison Williams, and I hate Allison Williams. Simply the fact because she's a part of the cast of Girls, and we're not even gonna get the fact that I hate every single one of them.
She's a byproduct of Lena Dunham, and we'll leave it at that.
and Lena Dunham is a female devil.
I mean, she's not a female devil. I think
She's
the devil
devil
is
of
asexual.
females.
She's just the devil.
Rose's brother comes.
Yeah, that old motherfucking Ron Weasley lookalike. He looks like a crackhead Ron Weasley.
Crackhead hockey player Ron Weasley. And then he was like, I know, I love Tiger Woods, and Chris is just like, and the first thing that set me off was the black dude had a straw hat. Now, what black dude you know got a straw hat on?
Oh, Tom.
Nobody. Nobody. That's like straight out of Dumbo with the crows with the little top hats. You know they coons already. Alright.
So that was our review.
We were freaking out.
Yes, we were.
But seriously, amazing film. Still, I just want to reiterate my congratulations to Jordan Peele. You did a great film. I'm looking forward to more stuff from you, and hopefully it'll get out too. Cause I'm ready for a next. I'm ready for a sequel to that, because it didn't really need a sequel, but it was so good that I wanted one.
Yes. We need another franchise.
We need a franchise out. Make this a TV series.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing. But yeah. Seriously, that was an amazing movie. I'm glad we went to go see it, and I'm glad that we were able to do this review for you guys. And this is our first review, and soon to be many more.